All right. Hello, Credit Masters. I'm Sabrina Graham, also known as Mrs. Perfect Credit, and today I am empowering you to excel in credit. This is tip number 10 of 13 tips to excellent credit, and today we're going to talk about dispute inaccuracies. Now, I have an embarrassing story that happened this week that I want to share with you, so make sure you stay to the end because I'm going to be talking about that. All right. So, what does it mean to dispute inaccuracies? So, first, you're going to identify the incorrect information, whether it's on your statements or it's on your credit report. You're going to gather documentation on what it should be. You're going to inform the credit bureaus or the creditors, and then you're going to follow up on your dispute after 30 days. Be strategic. Make sure you request your credit reports from the three major credit bureaus, and that's Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. All right, so now what should you look for when disputing inaccuracies? You're going to look for incorrect personal information. That can be your name, your address, social security number, and other personal details, and make sure they're correct. For instance, I had an incorrect address on my credit report one time. I also had an incorrect last name on my credit report at one point. And definitely check your social security number. You want to make sure that's correct. You want to look for accounts you don't recognize. You want to look at your account balances to make sure it matches up. You want to look for your payment history. Make sure that there's no late payments that's still on there when it should have dropped off by now. You want to also look for like the credit limits and make sure that the limits are correctly listed for all of your accounts. And then for public records, you're going to look for things like bankruptcies and tax liens and judgments. Make sure they're correct, or maybe they shouldn't be on there. And so you want to make sure that you dispute those definitely. And then for the inquiries, make sure that you did authorize those inquiries. And if not, that's something else that you want to dispute. Let's talk about the impact of inaccuracies. One of the impacts is you may not get approved for something because there is something incorrect on your credit, such as like your social security number. You may end up with a lower credit score because perhaps your credit limit is less than what you actually have. And so that's impacting your credit utilization rate. And that was one of our tips we talked about early on. And you can end up making unnecessary payments, which is going to bring me towards my embarrassing story. But before we get to that, I just want to go over a few more things and then I'm going to talk about that embarrassing story. Now, are you ready to improve your credit? Let's go. Go to www.excellincredit.com and you will be able to join our monthly group accountability calls so I can help you be accountable with your credit score and make sure you're looking at the things that you need to look at or help you develop a plan to get to your next goal. There's also books that you can purchase. I have a course out there as well. And definitely contact me. Let me know how you're doing on your credit score. I would love to hear about it. And of course, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you're notified of future credit tips or anything else that I have going on. Make sure you like, make sure you share. And now let's talk about my embarrassing story. So, as I am preparing this week for tip number 10, looking at inaccuracies on your credit report, I decided to do an audit on my credit statements. And I'm usually really good at monitoring my credit statements. But for some reason, life happens. Things happen where I totally missed this, but if you can see there in the screenshot, Netflix was charging me double, twice a month. I was getting charged that $24.89 from Netflix, and this was going on for over a year. I am so embarrassed that I totally missed this. How did I miss this? Anyways, I just had to share that with you to make sure you're checking your statements as well. As much as I thought I was checking them, apparently I missed this somehow. But I've contacted Netflix, I've contacted my credit card, and we're working on disputing. And come to find out, that second one, it's actually fraud. Somebody ended up, about over a year ago, I had fraud on my account and I alerted a credit card company. They said that, they're going to stop the other card. They issued me out another card, but something on their back end allows reoccurring charges, right? And so somebody ended up with my information and created this second account with Netflix and used my card. And it's been going on since. So I did talk to my credit card company and they are going to help me to dispute that. So there's my embarrassing story. Yes, me. I can't believe it. Anyways, there's one more thing that I want to talk to you about being strategic. So be strategic, not just about your credit report, but about your statements as well. So, can you imagine a llama showing up on your doorstep? Okay, I am exaggerating a little, but my daughter loves llamas, so I threw that in there for her. But you just never know. So make sure you're checking your credit card statements, dispute those as well if you see any inaccuracies there. And remember, stay tuned to tip number 11 that's coming up next week. And go out there, look at your statements, look at your credit reports. Let me know what you find, if you find any inaccuracies, and what did you do to dispute those. See you next time.